We got a lot of videos from the Denny's, don't we? We got just about every Denny's employee talking about how crooked the cops are in the system here. Everybody knows it's screwed, but nobody does anything because they're all scared that nobody else will do anything. Literally hundreds of people in Tillamook alone. How many cops do they have, and how many of those hundreds of their victims have guns? It's a good question. How many of those hundreds of victims have had their First Right Amendments kicked in the balls? Their First Amendment right completely thrashed because there is no Constitution. It's just a dream. Just a dream. I told you how looks and sexism and money and assumptions and gender bias, how all of this plays a part. It's not okay. Mike makinster is a first-class coward, but on the bright side, I got his back. He's also friends with some of the cops by his own admission, and some of the folks at the hospital by his own admission. When I was assaulted at the hospital there by the doctor, Mr. makinster was there for part of it. At the very beginning, when he was just treating me like I was a crackhead, not listening to what I was saying. When I was able to half-ass my way up onto the bed like he asked, I did so. So then he started being a dick right away, and then he wanted to feel my back. And he felt my back in a sensitive area that in my hospital paperwork, it shows that I got an injury in that area. I got my paperwork from that hospital, thank goodness. I didn't get my paperwork from all the hospitals. I had to rely on my predators to get that information by signing it over to the very cops who harmed me, permission to do that. To the law enforcement agencies that they went to try to frame me because it was going to be their word versus mine. Now that's the thing about the lady yesterday. She wants to hear the words of my predators and wanted me to sign over paperwork to have her talk to my predators, but she told me that she wasn't going to look at the evidence. No. She said she wasn't going to look at the evidence because my word is good enough. She believed me. But no. My safety. If she believed me, she would have done something immediately about my safety and the safety of the evidence. That is the most important thing in a case, and doing it as quickly as possible. Make an accusation against one of these peoples, they'll just send you on a wild goose chase, which is a felony for all of them. They're knowingly, willingly, and intelligently doing it. They're knowingly, willingly, and intelligently lying to me about what the law states, giving me illegal legal advice, and then claiming that they can't give legal advice. When I say they, I mean there's a lot of people involved here in Tillamook. When they say they don't have any money, they don't have the resources. Oh, they have plenty of resources. We get to see them spending plenty of resources. Lothman was the first officer to not do his job as a mandated reporter in this town. That was over the situation with Molly. I was taken advantage of repeatedly by Molly, by the police, by Tom. They helped my predators to get away by not bothering to collect evidence in every single one of these scenarios. But there needs to be other witnesses in the room, and if there's no friend or family member, then it's going to be recorded live for my safety. It is too easy for them to tell me it's going to take an act of God to get those body cameras, or to force me into extreme poverty, and then it costs money to get those body cameras. I didn't have the money. I don't have the ability. And when I go in there, even with the money, I get bullshitted around. Why don't you tell me, why don't you tell us what happened? We'll decide if it's illegal. And then they talk over you the whole time. And Dallas, he's not looked at any of them videos. He's looked at a couple of them back in the day, but, you know, the thing is, he's not taking it seriously. He's going and hanging out with his friends today, and I understand that. But it wasn't just him, it was a lot of people who were there when this started, and the cops could have talked to him, and these people said they would talk to the cops, but they didn't try going in with me. These places are taking advantage of me because I don't have any friends or family. They're dismissing the reality of my situation without allowing me to finish what I'm saying, which confuses the situation for them. And then they get more confused because they're not listening to the story. I didn't have the ability to record or process evidence at the beginning. That's what I needed help with. And then once I had the ability to record, my predators had gotten away with enough stuff that it no longer mattered. You guys get to see that when I don't have the ability to charge my phones, that's my lifeline. That is my ability to make sure that I record so that I'm not beaten up again. So I'm not sexually assaulted again. With me, when I was harmed, these officers knew that it was a high-profile case in Colorado. Now it's relegated to the realm of entertainment for the masses. They let these fucking predators play with me like a fucking video game. My friends let them do this. The police let them do this. Health and Human Services did this. They had to make sure that they separated me from my loved ones over and over again, lying to me over and over again, so that my only protection was non-existent. Graham should have been allowed in the room for my safety. Graham Milbourne should have been allowed in the room when I didn't have a public pretender. I had no one, and they gave me the option of either signing a piece of paper absolving the public pretender's office of all of their sins, or I had to plead guilty to a crime I didn't commit. I can always get a case based on new evidence. Always. All of this evidence that should have been seen, all of the evidence that I was trying to turn in, all of the evidence from before Natalie was killed that I was trying to turn in, the evidence that I did make the effort, I did make the attempt. And my friends and family treated me so shittily that I tried to kill myself. What happened in December of 2016 make me so suicidal? I'd gone to Kayla Trujillo's house. It's just a couple of months after leaving Virginia. A couple of months after all this abuse started. It was at Christmas time and Kayla Trujillo didn't have any money for food. And they wanted to play Magic the Gathering, so I panhandled to get food and Magic the Gathering cards. But Miss Peaches, she was gonna listen to me. She was gonna listen to me. She promised she was gonna. It was always when the kids go to bed or when A-Bear leaves because he's an asshole and he won't let us speak. Just wouldn't leave me the fuck alone. I needed help. I didn't need him to be a fucking bully to me. And that's all he ever did. So December, it was right after Christmas, and I was explaining what had happened in Virginia. And I'd gotten a little bit into it, and Kayla Trujillo was drunk. Story of my life, right? People don't care unless they're drunk. But A-Bear was in bed, so she was listening to me, and I was trying to tell her, and he got up and was interrupting and wouldn't let me speak and pulling the whole "you're a pussy" thing. And yeah, I recorded it. I didn't get to record the actual situation. I had to call Kayla Trujillo and talk to her about it. Many months after Natalie was dead, to show that I did tell the truth and that she was hiding it. That she wasn't going to take responsibility, she was just going to blame it on A-Bear. I spoke out about what she was going to do before I called her. I already knew she was going to blame it all on A-Bear. It wasn't all A-Bear, because as soon as A-Bear did that, and I was begging him to stop, literally begging him, asking for mercy, and she started bullying me too. And that lasted for a whole year before Natalie's death. From Christmas of 2016 to December 28th of 2017, when Natalie disappeared, Kayla Trujillo had promised that she would help over and over and over again. Promised that she would help. But instead of finding out what was going on, she was too busy trying to tell me that I just needed to go date people. I just needed to be on a dating app. I just needed to let it go. She didn't even know what needed to be let go because she wouldn't find out. When she finally did make the time, she'd make 5 minutes to fucking talk over me. Every time she was going to help, I tried to explain to her, please stop being mean to me and texting. You're taking everything out of context. Let me speak. Please listen. And every time she was gonna, it ended up being her smoking pot, running around to get pot for people, or playing video games. She'd say that she'd listen once her kids were in bed. Same thing Shannon Alvarado said. But then, of course, when the kids are in bed, what do you want to do then? Smoke some weed or drink some beer and pass out or play video games. But at least I brought cigarettes, right? But then if I don't have the money for cigarettes, I've been there for 3 days and I run out of cigarettes. And I spent all my money getting there. And you complain at me that I bummed a cigarette. Yeah, Sean, I'll give you one, but this is the last one. Like, shit, I bought you 3 packs when I got here. I kept on buying cigarettes, spending the funds, the gas, the physical harm against myself. Having to walk that far in my condition is extremely physically taxing, and rather than try to understand the extreme hell that I have to overcome to try to even get heard, for someone to take it seriously, that the longer they procrastinate and postpone it and don't make the time, the more it is you're letting me know that you would rather see me dead than lift a finger to stop the abuse. You get to see how many people that I went to for help that instead of helping, they tried to deter me from following the law by repeatedly telling me horror stories. And then they want to pretend that I'm just being negative when I say, hey, I can't do it alone. I have to have a friend or family member with me who cares, who actually cares. Without that, they're going to walk all over my rights. As they have over and over and over again. I'm tired of the mandated reporters nationwide bullying disabled people. Problem is, these disabled people don't speak up for each other because they're all a bunch of selfish fucking pussies. You can't speak up for somebody else, but you expect us to do something for you. Go fuck yourself.